Jerry Kramer. The Houston Oilers are the most penalized team in the NFL. They're developing a reputation much like that of the Raiders of the 70s or the Chicago Bears of your era. And Jerry, at what point does intimidation detract from a team's performance?
Well, Mel, I've always felt that you can either play football or you can fight. It's very difficult to do both. You normally retaliate with a good, solid block, a good, solid tackle. When you start getting 32 penalties in 3 games, then that hurts you tremendously as a football team and takes away from your performance on the field.
Well, last week the Oilers lost to the New York Jets 45-3, their worst loss in 16 years. It was a game that saw a total of 21 penalties, 9 personal fouls, and 1 player rejected. Drew Hill of the Oilers said that wasn't football, it was WrestleMania 4. Are the Oilers a dirty team, or are they just overly aggressive? Jerry Kramer asked Coach Jerry Glanville about his team's style of play before today's game.
I think what we do is we chase and we pursue, and we try to get as many people in on every tackle as we possibly can. And when the play's over, the play's over. We don't teach anybody to hit after the play or hit in the white. But I think what surprises people is the swarming and the gang tackling that we do within the framework of the rules.
And we are ready to go from the Astrodome. The Oilers against the New England Patriots. New England will be kicking off. Teddy Garcia teeing it up as Coach Raymond Berry looks on. And this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Back deep for the Oilers. 83, Leonard Harris standing at the goal line. 22, Kenny Johnson on the far side. And Alan Pinkett, number 20. And the rookie kicker from Northeast Louisiana about to get this one underway as the Patriots trying to bounce back after losing to Buffalo 16-14 last week in Foxborough, facing an Oiler team that was blown out at the Meadowlands 45-3 by the New York Jets. And Garcia's kick will be taken by Harris at the goal line. Good coverage downfield as he's tackled inside the 20 by the Patriots. First man down there to get to him was Vincent Brown, a rookie linebacker. So the Oilers will begin this drive from the 17-yard line. Second-year quarterback Cody Carlson out of Baylor. The running backs, Mike Rozier, the former Heisman Trophy winner, and Alonzo Highsmith, Drew Hill, and Ernest Gibbons, 2 outstanding wide receivers, and Jamie Williams, the tight end, is starting despite a badly sprained ankle. Veteran offensive line with 3 first-round picks, Munchak, Matthews, and Steinkuhler. First down for the Oilers at the 17-yard line. High formation, and the give is to Rozier. And he's to the 20-yard line, a gain of 3 before Mike Rozier is tackled by Johnny Rembert, who leads the Patriots in tackles this year. He had a big game last week against Buffalo with 13. Up front for the Patriots, Brett Williams has moved from the nose tackle to the outside. Tim Goad making his second NFL start. Garen Veras, the best of the 3 down linemen. Tim Jordan replaces the injured Andre Tippett, who's out for 2 weeks with a pulled groin. Reynolds, Rembert, and McGrew in the secondary. Total of 34 years of NFL experience in this group, and the Oilers are really concerned about throwing against this veteran secondary. Big hole for Mike Rozier, and he's out to the 27-yard line where the free safety Fred Marion comes up to make the stop.
Coach Glanville talked to us earlier in the day about taking some pressure off Cody Carlson, his young quarterback. And the best way to take pressure off a young quarterback is to give Mike Rozier the ball and have him gain a first down.
Rozier rushed for 100 yards against the Colts. He set out the Raider game with a badly sprained ankle, and last week against the Jets he carried 12 times for 65 yards, and he gives the Oilers a first down at the 28-yard line. Drew Hill is split wide to the right. Highsmith and Rozier, the running backs. Cody Carlson making some adjustments in the backfield. Carlson, who had a poor game last week against the Jets, and apparently saw something in the defense he didn't like. And so he has called a timeout with 13:25 remaining in the first quarter from the Astrodome. There is no score. And off the long count again, it's Rozier picking up about
day last week, a little uncertain starting this game, and the more confusion, the better for the Patriots.
Second down and 4 at the 34-yard line. And And the give again to Mike Rozier. It's been the Rozier show so far. And doesn't get much this time, getting back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Tim Jordan, 93, starting in place of the injured Andre Tippett, and Johnny Rumbert combining on the tackle. How much will the Patriots miss Tippett, the all-pro linebacker?
Boy, that's an interesting question. One of the finest linebackers in the game. You know, last week against Buffalo, after Tippett left, Jim Kelly completed 11 out of 12 passes. Now, if that's any indication, they're going to miss him a lot.
In 1986, Tippett missed 5 games, but the Patriots went 4-1, and now Houston goes to their red gun offense with 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 3. Willie Drury is in as an extra receiver. Carlson completes the pass to Rozier, and he's tackled by Rumbert. Didn't get much, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Again, I think an opportunity to take the pressure off the young quarterback. Nothing deep, nothing dangerous, just a little quick pass in the flat, give him a completion, let him throw the ball one time and kind of gain his confidence as we go along. Didn't work.
And Irving Fryer, who leads the AFC in punt returns, averaging 11.4 yards, awaiting Greg Montgomery's kick. Montgomery, a rookie from Michigan State. He's been rather inconsistent this year, as rookies often are. 11:20 remaining in the first quarter here in Houston in a scoreless game. The Oilers needing a win badly after suffering their worst loss in 16 years last week. Big rush, and Montgomery gets it away. And it will take an Oiler bounce, and it's a New England bounce. Finally down at the 37-yard line by Johnny Meads. Only a 26-yard kick.
A lot of pressure on this kick, Mel. Almost, you know, it wasn't that close, but a couple more feet and it could have been a block punt. I think it rushed Montgomery a little bit, and he maybe hurried the kick a bit.
Veteran Steve Grogan in his 14th year. Perriman, the second-year fullback, with a rookie Stevens, who made his first start last week. The 2 outstanding wideouts, Morgan and Fryer. Steve Johnson making his first start. Paul Fairchild playing right guard in place of the injured Ron Wooten. On first down for the Patriots, it's John Stevens, the #1 pick from Northwest Louisiana State. And Doug Smith, the nose tackle, was all over him. Smith, who anchors that front line. Ray Childress and William Fuller on the outside. Fuller starting today in place of Richard Byrd. The linebackers, Lyles and Meads on the outside, Grimsley and Smith on the inside. The inside backers lead the team in tackles. Steve Brown missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury. He's back in there today, and Patrick Allen makes his first start at cornerback. Second down, the 11. Reggie Dupart in the backfield now for New England, and the handoff is to Dupart. Reggie, who starred at SMU, brought down by Sean Jones and Robert Lyles.
It's interesting, the New England Patriots are starting off running the ball. Coach Barry was saying they were a little unhappy with the offensive line, that thought they could do a better job up front. And he watched those Jet films last week and saw the effectiveness of those play-action passes, and I should think we'd see some of that today.
The passing offense is in now for the Patriots. Craig James is in the game. They like to throw to him out of the backfield from the shotgun on 3rd and 9. Grogan downfield for Cedric Jones, and he's got it at the 49-yard line for a first down. Jones, who caught a 41-yard touchdown pass from Grogan last week against Buffalo.
A little pressure on Grogan always helps. And they are getting to him from the backside. Took him down. Nice catch. Standing in the pocket, making it happen. Staying right there all the way, and pays for it.
And a first down at the Oilers' 49-yard line. Grogan to the fullback, Robert Perriman. Al Smith chasing him. He couldn't get him, and he's finally bumped out of bounds after picking up another first down. I think that John Stevens, the rookie, they like to use him. They were concerned about how many times he could carry a ball. He averaged only 15.5 carries in college, which is not too many.
Not too many. An excellent addition to this football team. Just got good speed. He's strong. He's got good balance. He's got good sense, good timing. One of his first catches.
That is his first catch.
As a pro?
Yep. #1. First down at the 32-yard line. Stevens again trying to get outside. The Patriots really like him. He's got the size of a fullback at about 2 1/4 and the speed of a halfback. And let's check the 10-minute ticker for the first time. Buffalo leading by a field goal. The Bills still undefeated, although they're having difficulty generating any offense. The Jets trying to win their third straight. Miami leading the Colts. Minnesota 7-0 over the Eagles. The Bears and Packers renewing their old rivalry. Dallas leading by a touchdown against the Falcons. With 8:59 remaining at the Astrodome, no score. The Patriots 2nd and 6 at the Oilers 28. Grogan getting a lot of pressure, and down he goes. And sacked by Sean Jones, number 96. That's why the Oilers acquired Jones from the Raiders, to give them a pass rush. He has 30 sacks over the last 3 years.
We had a couple linebackers coming from the outside also, and Jones comes up the middle. Bingo, all virtually untouched. That's one of the things the Oilers felt they had to do today, is put some pressure on the Patriots and on Grogan.
And the loss back to the 39, so it'll be 3rd and 17 now. Reggie Dupart and Craig James are in the backfield. They use these two and they're going to pass the football. Grogan going deep downfield, and there's a penalty marker down, and it passes incomplete as Cedric Jones was juggling it in the end zone. Patrick Allen back in coverage for the Oilers, so we've got a penalty marker. Red Cashin, the referee this afternoon.
Patrick Allen has been the first game he started this year, had a holdout and reported to camp late. And you watch him run step for step, and got his hand a little bit too much on the receiver and got called for an interference call on about the 1-yard line.
So they'll spot it at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
Interference by the defense. First down.
It's close. They're allowing a little more leeway in the interpretation of the rules this year, but didn't seem like they allowed much on that play.
There really was not much contact, and it's a 1st down, 1st and goal at the 1 as Irving Fryer goes in motion. Stevens trying to burrow into the end zone, and he's stopped short. John Grimsley, number 59, and Kenny Johnson, the free safety, coming up to make the stop on him. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1, a scoreless first quarter here in Houston. The most penalized team in the NFL, 32 penalties, 349 yards. The opposition has piled up 16 first downs via penalties. Play action, Grogan on the rollout, trying to take it in himself. Steve Grogan, who early in his career was the best running quarterback in football, takes it into the end zone, but goes down hard. It's Grogan's
on the cement. That's cement over off of the Astros surface, and he hit the cement and slipped or tripped.
That's his 35th career rushing touchdown.
Just a simple bootleg. He puts the ball on the hip and heads for the corner of the end zone and beats the defense into the end zone.
The Oilers didn't get him, but the concrete did. And Teddy Garcia will try to tack on the point after. Garcia, who replaced Tony Franklin as the Patriots kicker. Tom Ramsey spots it down. The kick is blocked. It's no good. He missed 2 in the first game against the Jets, and looked like Eugene Seal got a hand on that one. But the Patriots have taken a
piece of band equipment or something there on the sidelines. I don't believe that injury was, or that fall was serious. No injury.
Grogan with his 35th career rushing touchdown, and Teddy Garcia's kickoff brought out by Kenny Johnson. Again, pretty good coverage as he's tackled at the 21-yard line. Darrell Holmes on the stop for the Patriots. There's a penalty marker down. A touchdown by Grogan brings to mind the season he had in 1976 when he had 13 rushing touchdowns to set an NFL mark. He doesn't run as much as he used to, though.
You wouldn't think so. In his 14th year, I think he'd be more effective throwing the ball than running the ball.
Unnecessary roughness, number 30 on the kickers. It'll be 15 yards, first down and 10.
Against the Patriots.
Twisted.
See what happened. Mosey Tutupu, who leads the special teams, diving in there. I didn't see much extracurricular activity there. Tutupu, who made the Pro Bowl as a special team player a couple of years ago. So it's a first down for New England at the Houston 36. And the give is to Highsmith. Alonzo Highsmith, who had carried the ball only 17 times coming into this game. Tim Goad, the Pats nose tackle on the stop. Highsmith, a first-round pick a year ago out of Miami. He was a holdout, was late reporting. Played in only 8 games last year, but he's an outstanding runner and a great blocker.
Certainly didn't seem to be much of a penalty on that last call, but the referees should do that, Mel. They should be right on top of everything so that nothing gets started.
Second down 4. Gibbons is wide to the left. Hill splits to the right. The tight end, Jamie Williams in motion. Highsmith again. Oh, great individual effort. There really wasn't much there, but he fought for about 3 yards. Tim Goad makes the tackle along with help from Tim Jordan, the left outside linebacker. Highsmith's father, Walter, played with the Houston Oilers years ago, and he's now the offensive coordinator at Florida A&M. And Alonzo has been a little frustrated lately and called his father, and his dad told him, son, you weren't the number 3 pick in the draft overall just because of your running. You're a great blocker. So he's concentrating on his blocking now and feels that eventually he's going to carry the football and be effective. Third down 2. 6 defensive backs in the game for the Patriots. Carlson on the give to Mike Rozier. Got a first down. Rozier to the 46-yard line for an Oiler first down. Roland James on the stop.
Nice quick hitting play, straight ahead, short yardage, the kind of play you like to see.
Cincinnati and Cleveland 7-0. Bengals, they're undefeated so far. Browns still trying to find a quarterback. They've had 2 of them go down, Kosar and Danielson. New Orleans leading Tampa Bay. Here in Houston, it's 6-0 New England with 5:25 remaining in the first quarter. Mike Rozier has carried 4 times for 22 yards so far. Carlson downfield, and it's complete to Drew Hill. Hill has a first down at the 32. Raymond Claiborne, the great 12-year veteran from Texas, on the tackle, and teams have been going after Claiborne a little more the last 2 years.
Well, Claiborne has been such a great player for so many years that they have been working on Lepet for so many years that he has turned into a great player. And now Claiborne's getting up there a little bit in age, so it's a lesser of 2 evils.
Claiborne had a knee injury last year, missed the last 5 games. He did not undergo surgery, but had a lot of rehabilitation to do to get ready for this season. First down at the 32. Again, it's Rozier through a big hole, and he's to the 27-yard line where Fred Marion makes the stop. But that offensive line doing a good job for the Oilers.
Boy, it's so much easier to block a defensive lineman on 2nd and 5 or 3rd and 1 than it is on 3rd and 14. When they know you're going to throw the ball, when you haven't got anything to do but buckle down your hat and get ready for them. And they're putting Cody Carlson in great position today, giving him a lot of options.
6-0 Patriots. 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. A first down for the Oilers at the 28. Williams, the big tight end, in motion again. He's a great blocker. Carlson's pass is tipped by Drew Hill at the 1-yard line. It was deflected, and Hill was in the right place. First and goal, Houston. A gain of 27 yards to the 1-yard line. Drew Hill showing some good reflexes.
Plenty of time, plenty of protection for Cody Carlson. Watches the ball is tipped by Gibbons, and Drew Hill is in the right spot at the right time.
And it all comes out in the wash, huh, Cody?
Cody says, just the way we planned it, just the way we practiced.
Give an assist to Givens. First and goal at the 1-yard line. Highsmith and Rozier in the backfield. Rozier over the top. And he stopped short of a touchdown. See number 70 getting up. Big Dean Steinkuhler, one of 3 #1 draft picks in that Oiler offensive line. The ball inside the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Ought to be able to go right straight at him all day long with that Oiler line and those big backs.
Double tight ends in the game. Jamie Williams and Don Maggs, who's actually a tackle, serving as a backup tight end. Rozier this time into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Mike Rozier with his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Nothing too fancy. That offensive line gives you a good surge off the ball, good solid one-on-one blocking, and Rozier picks a hole, picks up a couple yards, but certainly enough for the touchdown. Coach Glanville on the sidelines. His reaction is no reaction.
Tony Zendejas in to kick with Greg Montgomery holding. And the extra point will give the Oilers the lead. Teddy Garcia missed an extra point for New England. So the Oilers have taken a 7-6 lead over the Patriots. Mike Rozier's 1-yard touchdown run, the extra point by Zendejas, have given the Oilers a 7-6 lead. Zendejas ready to kick off to Sammy Martin, number 82, and Marvin Allen, 39. Martin, 4th-round pick out of LSU, has had 2 long runbacks called back because of penalties this year. Martin 2 yards deep. And he's cut down at the 18-yard line. The Oilers taking great pride in their special teams this year. They've done a good job on both punt and kickoff coverage. Toby Caston made the tackle.
That last touchdown was nothing more than just a straight-ahead drive by the offensive line, and Rozier finds the hole over the left side into the end zone.
7-6 Oilers with 2:13 remaining in the first period. And the Patriots began this drive from New England 19. Stanley Morgan splits out wide to the near side. Irving Fryer is wide to the left. Perriman and Stevens are the running backs. Robert Perriman out to the 22-yard line. Perriman, a 3rd-round pick last year out of Michigan. He's a local product from Bourne, Massachusetts, and many of his relatives, including his mother, turned out for last week's game in Foxborough against the Bills. 2nd down 5. At the 23 as we near the end of the first quarter. Broken on the pitch to John Stevens. And the Oilers, with their gang tackling style, wrestle him down at the 26-yard line. Al Smith, the first man to hit him.
Sean Farrell, number 62 at the top of your screen, an all-pro guard for the Patriots, pulls and leads Stevens around the corner, throws a block, doesn't quite get all of the linebacker he wants, but we gained about 3 yards on the play. Got it about 3rd and what, 2?
Got 2 outstanding guards. Farrell for the Patriots and Mike Munchak for the Oilers. They were teammates at Penn State.
Well, that
Grogan getting some pressure and has to unload it in a hurry. The intended receiver was Craig James, but Robert Lyles, 93, was all over Grogan and made him hurry the pass. It'll be 4th down. So on 4th and 2, Jeff Fiegels is in to punt, a rookie from Miami. The Patriots have 2 rookie kickers. Garcia, the place kicker, replaced Tony Franklin, and Fiegels has replaced Rich Camarillo as the Patriots punter. He got off a 58-yarder last week against Buffalo.
kicks the ball extremely high, has great hang time.
Kenny Johnson is back deep. 55 seconds remaining in first quarter. End over end kick. Johnson runs up to take it. Breaks the tackle at the 40. And Kenny Johnson is down at the 42-yard line by Jim Bowman, a special teams player, does a fine job. Shoulder blade. He'll be out 3 to 4 more weeks. And so Cody Carlson is quarterbacking for the Oilers. First down for Houston at the 43. Houston leading 7-6 with 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Carlson swings it out of the backfield. It's dropped by Highsmith.
Had a chance to talk to Warren Moon this week, and he doesn't feel it'll be another 3 or 4 weeks. He said they're having x-rays either today or in the morning, and maybe just a couple weeks more, but obviously he's a little more optimistic than he should be.
So Buffalo leading Pittsburgh 10-0. New Orleans also up 10-0 against Tampa Bay. Second down and 10 following the incompletion. Carlson, who broke almost every passing record at Baylor University. He was a third-round pick last year. The give is to Highsmith, and a little delay to the 48. Pickup of 5 yards. Fred Marion, the 7-year veteran from Miami, on the tackle, number 31. 24 seconds remaining in the quarter. Highsmith, who underwent arthroscopic surgery on both knees prior to the season. And that will be the final play of the quarter. Well, Steve Grogan scored on a 1-yard run for New England. Mike Rozier went in from a yard out for Houston. The extra point by Zendejas, the difference so far. And at the end of the first quarter from the Astrodome, it's Houston 7 and New England 6. On kick coverage.
Warren Moon lent an awful large Warren Moon's football team. So they miss him in a lot of different ways.
An All-American at Washington, then went up to the Canadian Football League where he was a star. We began the second quarter with Houston leading 7-6. Third down for the Oilers at the Houston 49. Lone setback is Mike Rozier. Ernest Givens is in motion. Carlson's pass is complete. Alan Pinkett, the open field. Across the 30, 20, 15, inside the 10. Touchdown, Pinkett.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
A 51-yard pass play from Cody Carlson to Alan Pinkett. That's his 4th touchdown this year. He scored 3 in one game against the Raiders when Rozier was out of action.
This young running back from Notre Dame has been a great addition. Watch it block out in front here by number 52, Jay Pennison, right there. Bingo. And now just exceptional running by Alan Pinkett as he takes it all the way down, evades a couple more tackles near the 5-yard line, and takes it into the end zone.
Zendejas in to try the extra point. And the Oilers are off and running at the Astrodome with 14:48 remaining in the second quarter. It's 14-6 Houston. Defense in high gear, leading 14-6 following a 51-yard pass. Cody Carlson to Alan Pinkett. And Tony Zendejas from the kicking Zendejas family ready to kick off. Martin and Allen are deep. This is Martin at the 4, the rookie from LSU. Brought down at the 22-yard line. Somebody is going to pay for this hanging, Jerry Glanville said. He felt that the big loss last week would motivate his team, and that would seem to be the case so far, Jerry.
This touchdown play we just witnessed was nothing more than a short screen to Alan Pinkett. Again, a pretty safe pass. The whole offensive line is out in front. Jay Pennison especially gets a great block there, and then Pinkett just does it on his own from about the 10-yard end.
First down for the Patriots at the 22. Irving Fryer lines up in the backfield, and he'll carry from scrimmage. Fryer brought down at the line of scrimmage, and let's go back to New York and NFL Live for an update.
In Indianapolis this afternoon, it's the Dolphins and the Colts. Dan Marino hits Lorenzo Hampton. Mike Pryor misses the tackle, and Hampton is off to the races. 39 yards for the touchdown, 7-3. Miami leads it in the second. Hampton out with an injured hamstring right now.
Thank you, Gail Sirens. Here in Houston, it's 14-6 in favor of the Oilers. Raymond Berry, a high school star in Texas, at Paris, Texas. His father is here watching the game today, and we'll hear from him at halftime. Shotgun formation for Grogan. Plenty of time.
At that time.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Keith Bostic. Cedric Jones was the intended receiver, and Grogan had all kinds of time, but Bostic, the all-pro, makes the interception, his first of the season.
You'll never have more time. Watch this zone defense now as a defensive backs are just kind of waiting for something to happen. And Steve Grogan has all day long to throw that pass and just happens to make a bad pass or throw it in Bostic's direction. He comes up with the interception. Watch again as Grogan goes back, and the time to throw the interception.
It's the 7th interception Grogan has suffered this year. On first down, Rozier, who's had a productive first half, fights his way to the 28, where nose tackle Tim Goad makes the stop. Goad, a 280-pound rookie from North Carolina. Steve Grogan on the sidelines, now in his 14th year out of Kansas State.
I think the Houston Oilers could run on every play and not get all of their running backs enough running. They've got so many great backs that I don't believe they'd ever get enough.
Second down at the 29. Rozier and Highsmith are the running backs. Carlson out of the backfield to Rozier. That's about the same kind of play they broke the touchdown on. I like Jerry Glanville's approach, Jerry. Carlson, who was beaten up last week, had 2 interceptions, completed only 9 of 25 passes. He's thrown sparingly today. They've relied on the ground game, and when he has thrown, they've been high percentage passes.
Exactly. Take the pressure off the young guy, run the ball, let him dump a couple easy ones out there, the screen pass, the swing pass, maybe a couple across the middle. Give him some confidence, let him get the feel of things again, get him pumped up, and then we'll go down the middle again and go long.
The Oilers go to the red gun offense with 4 wide receivers. 13:03 remaining second quarter. The Oilers hungry for more. Carlson's pass deflected, and it's incomplete. Johnny Uremberg got a hand on it. A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. Mel Proctor with Jerry Kramer bringing you the action from the Astrodome. Zendejas, who's had some difficulties. He's made only 3 of 7 field goal attempts. In the past, his strength had been kicking beyond the 40, 73% prior to this season, and this attempt will be from the 36. So this is a 46-yarder, and he's had difficulty with the long kicks. He hasn't made anything over 35 yards this year. Craig Montgomery holding for him, and it's no good as Zendejas misses again. Saw that ball hooking, and he said he's had difficulty hooking his kicks, maybe hurrying his. Grogan had to hurry another pass. It's incomplete, but almost picked off by Keith Bostic. But it was a pressure by Johnny Meads, number 91, that made Grogan hurry that pass.
That's tremendous pressure again from the outside linebacker. And Grogan either had to throw that ball away or eat it very quickly. Not much choice, not much time on that play.
Cedric Jones, number 83, checks in for the Pats. He caught a 41-yard touchdown pass from Grogan last week against the Bills, the longest of his career. Second down with 1:56 left. Grogan is going deep downfield and overthrows the man. Good coverage by Steve Brown on the intended receiver, Stanley Morgan. Brown and Jeff Donaldson both back there with him. Grogan and Morgan have great communication. Grogan says, I just have a feel for where he's going to be, and Morgan says the same thing. I know if I get to a spot, Grogan is going to find me.
And they say we're both on the same page and have been for a number of years. I think they both went through a lot of similar circumstances in their career, in the learning process and in the time process also.
Third down and 10. Patriots 2 for 7 on third down conversions. Oilers in almost a prevent defense with 2 backs standing back at the 35-yard line. Penalty marker down.
Delay of the offense. Still third down.
That'll make it 3rd and 15. Raymond Berry, an interesting man, a guy who supposedly invented wristbands.
Raymond is a fascination. We could spend the rest of the afternoon talking about Raymond Berry and what a meticulous perfectionist he is. He's really a interesting human being.
They say when he played with the Colts, he used to carry a scale on the road with him so he could weigh in every day and make sure that he kept his weight down. 3rd down 15 from the 45.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes Sean Jones to say hello to someone.
Encroachment of the defense.
We'll give that 5 yards back. That wasn't really fair to give you a 5 for time. Sean Jones a little excited, and then it's tense. And 3rd and 15. We need to get a rush on. Everybody's coming. He just forgets to watch the ball. Comes across the line of scrimmage before anything moves.
Jerry Glanville and Raymond Berry were assistants together with the Detroit Lions in 1974 and 75, now opposing each other. 3rd and 10 from the 50. It's 14-6 Oilers. Grogan in trouble again, and he's sacked at the 38 by Sean Jones. So the Patriots will have to punt.
Sean Jones had a plan, I guess, Mel. He knew what he wanted to do and couldn't wait, and here's why. Goes around Danny Villa and takes Grogan down. One more look from the end zone. Watch number 73, Danny Villa, trying to hold Jones out, and he just goes around him with a great move. A lot of determination to get to Grogan.
And Jeff Fiegels will punt on 4th and 20. Kenny Johnson awaiting the kick with 1:22 left in the half. Low line drive kick. Johnson across the 30. Out to the 42. Pretty good run back by Kenny Johnson. Darrell Holmes on the stop for the Patriots. Those are the kinds of kicks that are returned often for touchdowns.
And those aren't the kind of kicks they expected from Jeff Fiegels as we look at Sean Jones on the sidelines.
Jones was acquired in a trade from the Raiders, and he said he's going to rent his house in the Los Angeles area to Bo Jackson when Bo joins the Raiders. And he said, I'm going to increase the rent because Bo can afford it.
I think Bo can afford it.
Said he's going to leave his VCR there and his answering unit. And he said, we'll be done playing in the Super Bowl about the time Jackson moves out of the house, so things will work out nicely. Move right back in.
That's what you like to see, confidence.
1:12 left first half. 1st down and 10 for the Oilers at the Houston 43.
Now we got to throw the ball, I was about to say, and we get a short snap to Pinkett.
Alan Pinkett to the 47. Roland James makes the stop. Looks like the Oilers are just going to be content to run out the first half.
Interesting. That's 1:15. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong clock. But still a minute. You know, there's plenty of time to move down the field.
Now they line up without a huddle. So it looked like they were going to go conservative, and now they get into their 2-minute drill. And Carlson wants to put it up. And the ball stripped away. Recovered by Dean Steinkuhler. Brent Williams stripping the ball away from Cody Carlson, but Steinkuhler was there to recover it. And now New England will call a timeout.
Don't pick up that ball, Dean. That draws a lot of attention when you pick up that ball.
Well, hey, he remembers the Orange Bowl when he played in Nebraska, the old Fumble-Ruski play when they laid the ball on the ground and he picked it up, took it in for a touchdown. We'll return to the Astrodome in a moment.
Ruski at Nebraska.
It'll be 3rd and 17 for the Oilers at the 36. 38 seconds remaining. First half, the Oilers have 1 timeout left. The Patriots have 2 remaining. Carlson getting some pressure. He's hit as he throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. The foot race was on with Givens, Drew Hill sprinting downfield. Givens was the intended receiver. Rod McSwain was back in coverage, the nickelback.
And the last time it was Brent Williams. This time is Garin Veras, number 60, putting the pressure on Cody Carlson. The ball was thrown in hopes of a long completion.
So Irving Fryer will get a chance to run one back. Fryer, who leads the AFC in punt returns. Second punt for Montgomery, who is the premier punter in college football at Michigan State. He was a third-round pick this year. 33 seconds left in the half. Pretty good kick. Fryer will take it at the 19. Looking for blocking. And down at the 23 by Spencer Tillman. Tillman, a backup running back. 45-yard punt by Montgomery and only a 5-yard return by Fryer. So the Patriots will take over at the 24 with 20 seconds remaining in the half. Oilers leading 14-6. Jerry Glanville said that the 45-3 whipping by the Jets last week may be the best thing that could have happened to the Oilers. He said the last time we got our butts kicked like that, we came back and won 3 out of 4 and made the playoffs. And Steve Grogan will just run out the clock.
If the clock will start, there it starts.
So that will be the final play of the first half. Well, the Oilers could have an even bigger lead had not Tony Zendejas missed 2 46-yard field goals, but they have to be content after scoring only 3 points last week, going into the locker room leading 14-6.
I think they're very happy.
Mel Proctor with Jerry Kramer back at the Astrodome. Patriots coach Raymond Berry has played for a number of outstanding coaches, including Weeb Eubank with the Baltimore Colts, but he still says the best football coach he ever played for was his father, Mark Raymond, who was a very successful high school coach in Paris, Texas for more than 30 years. And earlier today we had a chance to chat with the elder Coach Berry, Mark Raymond, and I asked him if his son's coaching style was similar to that he employed in Texas high school football for 30 years.
No, he has a much easier, smoother way of handling the balls than I did. I had a low balling point, and so he's much calmer.
If you could give him a bit of advice for the Oiler game today, what would you tell him?
To win the ball game.
That's nice. That's nice.
And here's his son, Raymond, who I'm sure talked about the importance of generating a ground attack. The Pats had only 33 yards rushing the first half. There's his proud father. He's a legend in high school coaching circles in Texas. Said his son Raymond actually began as a center. He said he was the only kid on the team who could center the football, and when he got to high school he weighed 137 pounds, 150 pounds as a senior. But we all know the story how he's worked so hard. A guy who wasn't particularly gifted physically, Jerry, but he got everything he could out of his ability.
Raymond Berry Jr., the player for the Baltimore Colts, had a bad back, a short leg, moderate speed, relatively poor eyesight, and was the finest receiver in the history of football up to that point. One of the hardest working human beings I've ever seen on or off a football field.
You tell me a great story about what a meticulous individual he is, and when you once played golf with him.
We played golf out in La Costa at an American Airlines golf tournament out there, and Raymond and I got to play together the first day, and on the first hole he took like a 13 or a 14, and I noticed after every stroke he would take a pocketbook out of his back pocket, take a pencil, and mark down each stroke and the position on the hole. I said, Raymond, what are you doing? He said, I'm trying to keep track of my game. I said, what'd you shoot yesterday? He said, 137. So Raymond was going to get under 137 one way or the other.
And this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. It's 14-6 Oilers with Houston kicking off. Tony Zendejas gets the second half underway. Sammy Martin, a rookie from LSU with 4.5 speed, brings it out. Good run back, 30, 35, and brought down near the 40. He's had 2 long run backs called back, a 74-yarder against the Jets and a 35-yarder against the Vikings, nullified by penalties, but he brings this one out near the 40. Spencer Tillman on the stop, a 41-yard return by Martin.
Coach Jerry Glanville calls Sammy Martin one of the finest kick return men he's seen in a long time. 4.5 speed. You know, he's really an exciting football player.
Well, they spotted it to 39, so it's a return to the 39 where the Patriots will begin this drive. Robert Perriman, John Stevens in the backfield. The wide receivers are Stanley Morgan and Irving Fryer. On first down, the give is to Perriman. Second effort gets Robert Perriman to the 46 where Steve Brown makes the stop. Perriman, a third-round pick last year out of Michigan. He grew up idolizing Sam the Bam Cunningham, who played for the Patriots, and Earl Campbell, the great former Oiler fullback.
Nice cutback on that play. A good line charge up front. A nice cutback by Perriman.
Gain of 7 at 2nd and 3 at the 46. This time it's Stevens breaking a tackle. John Stevens is to the 48 where left cornerback Steve Brown and the right inside linebacker Al Smith combine on the stop. And they're going to be close to a first down. I think they're going to have to measure for it. John Stevens, who was the 17th pick overall in the first round. Last week, his first start against the Bills, he carried 24 times. Said he was so sore after that game that he had to take Wednesday's practice off.
That's interesting to me. I didn't know that was allowed. Just because you were sore, he actually had to skip Wednesday's practice because he hurt so bad. He'd never been pounded like that before.
And Raymond Berry is known for holding very easy practice sessions. In fact, when he first became head coach, the great defensive end Julius Adams came to him after a practice and said, "Coach, this is so easy, I don't even have to take a shower. I didn't break a sweat." First down at the 49. Perriman breaks a tackle, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage where he's brought down by Ray Childress, but it was Johnny Meads who hit him first.
Johnny Meads virtually untouched. Watch for number 91 right there. Oh, he was trying to be blocked there by young back Stevens and didn't really get a hand on him. Meads got across the line of scrimmage and into the backfield before Stevens was ready.
Meads, another member of that defensive unit with a nickname. He's Squint Eye.
He's what?
Squint Eye is his nickname. They've all got nicknames on this team. A 2nd and 11. Reggie Dupard doesn't get much. That'll bring up a 3rd and long situation as William Fuller makes the stop. Mentioned Johnny Meads is Squint Eye. Richard Byrd, a defensive end, is Dickie Do in the Don'ts. Keith Bostic is Batman. Patrick Allen is Doc. And Robert Lyles is Captain Video.
Jamie Williams is Spidey.
Spider-Man.
I said hello to Jamie the other day, and he said, "You can call me Spidey." I said, "What?" He says, "Spidey," as in Spider-Man. Jamie's got a Spider-Man shirt out and a Spider-Man book, and I guess he's a local Spider-Man.
Did you guys all have nicknames of the great Patriot teams?
We did, but they weren't public.
3rd and 9. Grogan with a deep drop. Almost picked off. Now that'll bring up a punting situation. Cedric Jones was the intended receiver.
You know, Grogan is not throwing the ball well. I was talking with him yesterday, and he was moving his head very slowly, like his neck was bothering him. I'm just wondering if his neck isn't jammed a little bit or got some kind of he's had some problems, and we know in the past with his neck, and he's just not throwing the ball well.
Kenny Johnson awaiting the kick by Jeff Fiegels. 12:10 remaining 3rd quarter. The Oilers leading 14-6. Johnson will field it at the 14. And he stopped at the 15-yard line. Tackle made by Ed Reynolds of the Patriots, and we get a timeout with the Oilers leading New England 14-6 in the 3rd quarter. Mel Proctor with Jerry Kramer back at the Astrodome in Houston, where the Oilers lead New England 14-6 in the 3rd quarter. And the Oilers begin this drive from the Houston 15. Cody Carlson has completed 6 of 11 passes for 125 yards, a 51-yard touchdown pass to Alan Pinkett in the first half. Highsmith and Rozier, the running backs. Ernest Gibbons in motion. The pitch is to Rozier on the cutback. Gets maybe a yard. Lawrence McGrew made the tackle for the Patriots. He and Johnny Rembert have both played well defensively at the half. The Bills leading Pittsburgh 16-14. The Jets try to win again against the Lions. The Bengals over the Browns 24-10. Eagles have taken the lead over the Vikings at halftime. And Chicago with an 11-point lead. Second down at the 15-yard line. Alan Pinkett, who caught that touchdown pass in the first half, is in the game now. Carlson's pass almost picked off by Johnny Rembert. He intercepted one the first half and probably should have had that one.
It was right in his hands. You know, you've got to be able to throw the ball. We've watched the running game all day long. Cody goes back in the pocket. Plenty of time. No hustle, no pressure. Bingo, right into the middle of coverage. 3 people playing that zone all around the receiver, and that was not the place to throw the ball.
That probably would have been a touchdown had he held on. The Red Sox leading the Yankees 3-0 as New York tries to stay alive in the American League East, the only pennant race yet to be decided. 3rd and 9, the Red Gun offense with 4 wide receivers. Carlson throwing deep downfield. It's incomplete. Intended for Willie Drury, who comes in when they go to the Red Gun. Raymond Claiborne defending for the Patriots. Carlson under a lot of pressure from Edmund Nelson, the ex-Steeler. Irving Fryer hoping to break one. The Oilers were penalized only twice in the first half, so they've really improved in that category, and that's
a whole different attitude. Whole different Oiler football team. They're playing their game between the whistles now, not after the whistle. Patriots have a great chance to get field position here.
Greg Montgomery into punt. Irving Fryer at the 36. And he goes out of bounds after about a 4-yard pickup. 48-yard kick that time by Greg Montgomery. And we get a break in the action in the 3rd quarter here at the Astrodome with the Oilers ahead 14-6. Mel Proctor with Jerry Kramer back at the Astrodome in Houston. Cody Carlson getting a breather on the sidelines. And the Patriots now will take over at the 42-yard line. The big key as far as the Oilers have been concerned has been their coverage on punts. Irving Fryer hasn't broken a long one, and he's the leading punt returner in the AFC.
Not much excitement on punt returns today for the New England Patriots. In fact, not much excitement anywhere for the day. They've got to get uncorked. They've got to get humming.
Got some great athletes, Stanley Morgan and Irving Fryer, but Steve Grogan has been under a lot of pressure and has had difficulty getting the ball to them. On first down, a short pass to the tight end. Steve Johnson, 6th-round pick out of Virginia Tech, who made his first start today.
Again, Grogan in the pocket. Good protection, good time. Just a quick out by Johnson to the sideline. Picks up about 5 yards. His first catch as a pro. First one, folks.
The Patriots have had some injury problems at tight end. Russ Francis is sidelined. Willie Scott, who started last week, is a blocker but doesn't catch the ball very often. Robert Perriman to midfield, where he's stopped by Steve Brown.
That looked like a great tackle to me by Brown. Looked like Perryman had some running room, some maneuvering room, and Brown come up and met him head on. Good tackle.
10:27 remaining, 3rd quarter. It's 14-6 Oilers. 3rd down and 3 from midfield. Stanley Morgan splits out wide to the right, picked up by Steve Brown. John Stevens and Robert Perriman are the running backs. Grogan sideline pattern for Morgan. This was when he's so tough in the open field after he makes the reception. He's got a first down. And the penalty marker's down. Saw a lot of that last week in the Oilers-Jets game. A lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle, but we haven't seen much of it today.
There were 9 personal fouls last week. So far we've had 1 today, and we'll see what this one is.
if it was.
I didn't see anything there, but obviously the referee did.
I think the foul may have occurred away from the ball.
Unnecessary roughness, number 44 on the offense.
It's called on John Stevens, the rookie running back for New England.
John Stevens, a young rookie. Kind of in the background of the play we were watching at. Watch behind you, just at the top of your screen now. You'll see a couple. There you go. John Stevens hits one of the Oiler players in the back and knocks him down. And that, interestingly enough, is the second unnecessary roughness call against the New England Patriots versus 0 for the Houston Oilers.
So the penalty against John Stevens of New England. And the ball spotted at the 48-yard line of the Oilers. Houston leading 14-6. Patriots only score coming on a 1-yard touchdown run by Steve Grogan, but Teddy Garcia missed the extra point. Third down and 1 at the 48. Perriman is stop or loss. It looked like Doug Smith, the 285-pound nose tackle, was the first man to hit him and wrap him up. That'll bring up a 4th and 3 situation.
Coach Jerry Glanville in the pregame opening talked about swarm tackling and pursuit and gang tackle. Watch this as Perriman gets hit behind the line of scrimmage by Smith, and then 3, 4, 5 other Oilers arrive on the scene.
Punting situation for Jeff Fiegels. Kenny Johnson standing back at the 14-yard line. 8:55 left, third quarter.
There it is.
Good hang time on this kick. Fair catch signal for, so this one will be caught inside the 20. Fiegels looking for placement on that kick and got it. The Oilers will begin this drive from their 19. With 8:44 remaining, third quarter, it's the Oilers 14, the Patriots 6. The young man with the white shirt and the glasses is the injured all-pro linebacker for the Patriots, Andre Tippett, who's out for a couple of weeks with a pulled groin. Tim Jordan has replaced him, moving from right linebacker to left linebacker. But as you see last week, Jim Kelly picked the Patriots apart after Tippett left the game. He completed 10 of 11 passes, but it doesn't seem like they've really taken advantage of Jordan too much. Here's Alan Pinkett busting loose in the open field out to the 31-yard line. He's carried the ball sparingly, but he's been very effective when he's been in there.
Did I give you my favorite all-time statistic? Take a look at Alan Pinkett coming out of the backfield here. Gets a nice hole up front. Jamie Williams puts on a nice block, and Highsmith is just wandering around looking for somebody to hit, and Pinkett almost runs over him. Back to my statistic in a moment.
First down at the 30. Pinkett again. Another good run by Alan Pinkett. Close to another first down. Give us your all-time stat.
Alan Pinkett shattered the all-time Notre Dame career scoring record previously set by a back by the name of Red Salmon between 1901, 1902, and 1903. As we watch him again go through a nice hole created by that offensive line.
They will measure to see if it's a first down. Red Salmon.
Red Salmon set the all-time scoring record at Notre Dame back in 1901 and 02 and 03, and Alan Pinkett broke the record. Now that's a fine young running back, as is Rozier, as is Highsmith, as is Lorenzo White. I'm telling you, they got a house full of decent running backs.
Pinkett has only carried 3 times, but for 26 yards. He's also caught a 51-yard touchdown pass, and he gives the Oilers a first down at the 41. 7:38 remaining third quarter. The Oilers ahead 14-6. Highsmith, who had carried the ball only 17 times coming into the game, and he fumbles it. See who's got it. Looked like Mike Munchak down the bottom of the pile, along with the center Jay Pennison. The Oilers maintain possession. Big veteran offensive line. Pedersen, who played in the USFL for a couple of years. Munchak, Matthews, the right guard. Steinkuhler, the right tackle. All first-round picks in a 3-year period from 82 through 84. The Oilers decided to use their #1 picks to rebuild their offensive line. They got 3 dandies.
And they're using them well today. That offensive line doing a great job up front, as you can tell by that running game.
The Oilers go to the dime defense. 6 defensive backs on 2nd and 9. Ernest Gibbons in motion. Carlson downfield. The pass is intercepted. Fred Marion made the hit, and Roland James comes up with a football. And the Patriots take over on the turnover. Got a penalty marker down, though. It was Marion who made the hit, and looks like holding against New England.
Been moving the ball well on the ground and decided it's time to put it up. Drew Hill coming across the middle, and actually the ball could have been caught, or perhaps should have been caught. Marion makes the hit, and as Mel said, Roland James gets the interception.
Number 60, 10-yard penalty will be first down and 10.
Illegal block called against Garen Veras on the run back, so it'll be New England's ball, but at the 40 rather than downfield about 15 yards. So the Patriots take over at the 40 with 6:27 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Oilers ahead 14-6. New England's got to get some offense going.
Time to get untracked.
Maybe try to strike with a big play here, or will they go back and try to establish a running game?
It's time to throw.
Grogan's pass batted and intercepted. Picked off by William Fuller. So Fuller, who acquired in a trade with the Rams a couple of years ago, comes up with the interception. And the teams trade turnovers.
Well, it was time to put the ball up. We have been establishing the running game all day long, and now let's, get it down the field, move it down the field, stretch the field, score some points. It just happened that William Fuller made a dynamite play. Not only jumped up and batted the ball down, but then was able to get control of it and make a return.
An outstanding field position for the Oilers at the 26 of New England. Houston leading 14-6. The give to Mike Rozier. Rozier plows his way for about 3 yards. And here we go.
Stay cool.
Round 1. Reynolds is the man who made the tackle on Rozier. I don't see any penalty markers down.
And no flags down. That was a legitimate confrontation there. Rozier got stacked up and didn't want to go down, and the defense wanted him to go down, so we had a little pushing contest and a little yeah there for a minute, but nothing serious.
A lecture, but no penalty. And it's 2nd down 7 at the 23. Rozier again on the cutback inside the 20 to the 19, where Garen Veras brings him down. Tony Zendejas, who's had his difficulties today getting loose on the sidelines.
He had said earlier in the week that he was not following through, and the reason he was pushing the ball a little to the right was somewhat like a golfer hitting the ball and not following through. So he thought he had the problem worked out. The first one he hooks to the left, and then he comes back, and he's going to go to the psycho ward tonight.
Kickers are a different breed. 3rd down 4 at the 20. The Red Gun offense, 4 wide receivers in for the Oilers. They stay on the ground. Rozier, they needed 4 for a first down. Johnny Rembert makes the stop at the 15-yard line. It's going to be close. Depends on where they mark it.
Mark it back.
Jets and Lions tied in the 3rd quarter. Bengals with a 14-point lead over Cleveland. And here comes Tony Zendejas.
Referee's going to take a timeout to measure.
It's 4th and 1.
And maybe look at that play. I think that was a good call. The running back bounced on the turf and then wiggled his way forward a little bit, so the crowd seemed to think that it was a bad mark. But watch it here as Rozier hits back and then bounces forward, but you can see the ball hit a little short of a first down. Good mark, good call by the official. And the crowd certainly doesn't think so.
And now the Oilers are taking the field goal unit off the field. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 1. So Zendejas had come out. Apparently Jerry Glanville changed his mind, and they're going to try to pick up the 1 yard.
Now that isn't going to make Zendejas feel comfortable about his position on the football field. When you get out there ready to kick and they say, never mind, that makes you a little concerned.
2 tight ends, 3 running backs in the game now. 4th and 1. Rozier for the first down. Edmund Nelson made the tackle on Mike Rozier. Rozier and the Patriots' Irving Fryer, who were teammates in Nebraska, remained friends over the years, and he picks up the first down.
Mike Davis, Mike Munchak, Bruce Davis make a nice charge off that offensive line, and Rozier goes over the top for the first down.
A lot of beef on the left side of that line. Davis at 315 pounds, Munchak at 284. Rozier and Highsmith, the running backs. Rozier in trouble. Will be dragged down for a big loss by Brent Williams, number 96. Williams, who started the first 2 games at nose tackle. He loves playing nose tackle, but they moved him back outside with Tim Goad taking over in the middle.
Yeah, an obvious passing situation or an obvious draw situation or an obvious something up the middle with a long yardage situation. Be interesting to see what Cody comes up with in this situation.
Patriots take out the 2 inside linebackers and replace them with Ernest Gibson and Rod McSwain, so they've got 6 defensive backs in the game. Willie Drury is in along with Curtis Duncan, with Gibbons and Hill, 4 wide receivers. 2nd and 13. And the clock ran out on the Oilers. This will be a delay of game against Houston. They took too much time getting off a play. So it'll be 2nd and 18 now.
It's tough to be a young quarterback in this business. There's so many things to think about, so many things to prepare and get up on the line and get ready and look at the defense, and just a jillion things to worry about before you can snap that ball.
2nd and 18 at the 22. Carlson, little screen pass to Pinkett. Pinkett is in for a touchdown. Alan Pinkett's 2nd touchdown reception of the day, a 22-yarder. And the Oilers now lead 20-6. That's 5 touchdowns Pinkett has scored already this year.
He is a fine running back, fine young back. That's just, like I said earlier, one of many. And that was nothing but a burst of speed after he caught that ball to get it into the end zone.
And a shaky Tony Zendejas out to try the extra point. It's good. So with 2 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Oilers have opened up a 21-6 lead.
Watch Cody Carlson go back into the pocket and throw a nice little screen out to Alan Pinkett, who's got 3 offensive linemen out in front of him, giving him all the help he can get, and he just outraces the defensive people into the end zone. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Tony Zendejas kickoff taken by Marvin Allen at the 2. Again, good coverage downfield by the Oilers. The special team play has been excellent. On the hit, Toby Caston, number 56, 2nd-year linebacker from LSU, one of the leaders in the special teams. Oilers showing dramatic improvement over last week's effort when they were blown out by the Jets. 21-6 Houston, and New England's got to get something going. It's getting late. 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
They've got to get a drive started. They've got to get some offense generated now.
Alan Pinkett with his second touchdown reception of the day. Grogan put it up on first down the last time and had his pass picked off, and he's going up top again. Incomplete. Irving Fryar thought that there was some interference on the play as Jeff Donaldson hit him, and there's a penalty marker down. The Oilers are upset.
Interference of the defense from the 31. It's down.
It's against Jeff Donaldson, the free safety.
This is the time when you really have to keep your cool and keep your head. It looked like the flag was a little late. We feel persecuted. We feel like they're singling us out as a Houston Oiler bunch, and maybe watch it as we go back to the replay right at the top of the screen. Very close call.
Grogan back to live action, throws incomplete, intended for the tight end Steve Johnson. That penalty, by the way, the fourth against the Oilers, and now Johnson is upset.
Johnson's hot. Grogan's hot. And again,
Fryer's probably still hot from the first half.
He's probably still dancing, yeah. Grogan is not throwing that ball well. He's as tentative. He's steering the ball at long pass downfield the time before. Did not fly like it should have. Not throwing the ball well.
Stanley Morgan and Irving Fryar, the two deep threats, each have caught only one pass. Grogan batted down. William Fuller, who's had a big game, knocked it down. Fuller starting today in place of Richard Bird, a defensive end. He had an interception earlier, and now he knocks this pass down. Fuller played in the USFL for 2 years with the Philadelphia and then Baltimore Stars, was an all-USFL selection.
Good solid defense by that Houston defensive line today. They put on plenty of pressure, and here you see William Fuller go up and knock the ball down. Just good pressure all along that line.
They'll be coming again on 3rd and 10. Grogan's pass to the 35-yard line. It's incomplete. Intended for Stanley Morgan. Morgan has one catch for 18 yards. Fryar has one for 14, so they've really been shut down.
That ball was in the dirt also. You're talking about Grogan not throwing the ball well. That ball was another example of it. Well, it wasn't in the dirt. If it had been in a regular field, it had been in the dirt.
Kenny Johnson awaiting the kick by Jeff Fiegels. Fiegels played collegiately at Miami, but played junior college ball at Scottsdale Community College in Arizona. The team's nickname, the Artichokes. They call them the Chokes for short. What a name for a football team. Just hope he doesn't choke here. Go Chokes. Johnson at the 27. Going nowhere.
Great coverage.
Rod McSwain, the first man to get downfield to make the stop. And these teams are beginning to talk to each other and taunt each other at the conclusion of the play, so it's beginning to look like Oiler football.
Getting a little frustration, I think, on the part of the Patriots, too. You know, they have not been able to score. They have not been able to move the ball down the field, and we're getting a little frustrated by that. Watch this face mask right here.
Oh, yeah.
That looked pretty well. He didn't actually clasp the fingers together and grasp the face mask, but he was all around it. And that's what the noise was about.
First down at the 24-yard line. Alan Pinkett has had a big game into the open field at the 31-yard line with that quick burst. Not very big, 5'9", 192, but he accelerates quickly. Fred Marion made the tackle for New England. Pinkett, the all-time leading rusher in Notre Dame history, left the school with that distinction. 3rd round pick in 1986.
How about him breaking Red Salmon's record?
Terrific. Did you ever play against Red? No, I guess he was before your time. 1902.
Watch it.
Second down 3 at the 31. Pinkett again. Needed 3 yards for a first down. Lawrence McGrew, the man to hit him for New England. Buffalo now leading the Steelers 23-14, so the Bills have found some offense. Colts beating the Dolphins 12-7. Atlanta's moved ahead of Dallas in the third quarter. In the 5th inning in New York, the Red Sox leading 3-0. Alan Pinkett has carried 5 times for 35 yards, 2 receptions for 73 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. And it's 3rd and 1 now for the Oilers. Pinkett again. He's got the first down and more. He, Rozier, and Highsmith are just chewing up the New England defense.
And this is what we should expect to see for the remainder of the football game. The Oilers have a rather comfortable lead at this point, and just ball control, consume the clock, move it down the field.
That's the end of the third quarter, with the Oilers in control, leading the New England Patriots. At the end of the third quarter, the score is Houston 21, New England 6, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. It's been a difficult afternoon for 14-year veteran Steve Grogan, 8 of 21 for only 83 yards, no touchdowns. He's been intercepted twice. And the little man from Notre Dame has had a big game for Houston. Alan Pinkett, 2 catches for 73 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also running the football quite effectively. Pitch to Pinkett again. Tripped up at the 42-yard line by Ronnie Lepet, the left cornerback. Well, this team is loaded with running backs. Rozier, Pinkett. You got Lorenzo White, a first-round pick, one of the top running backs his senior year at Michigan State, who hasn't even played. Highsmith, Spencer Tillman. And when they get Warren Moon back, they're going to be even tougher.
If they can continue to run the ball like this, with Warren back throwing the ball, and the way the defense has been playing, this is going to be a fine football team.
Second down, 7 at the 43. Mike Rozier is back in there, running back. For wide receivers. Carlson with a split out pass to Drew Hill across midfield. And he's got a first down at the 37-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by Fred Marion. Hill, who had 6 100-yard receiving games last year, best in the NFL, and we've got a Patriot down. Looks like Tim Goad, the nose tackle, is injured.
Very high percentage pass by Cody Carlson. Drew Hill just does a little square out, gets away from the cornerback and Lepet, and moves it down the field. Great talent.
And we'll return to the Astrodome, where the Oilers have a 21-6 lead over New England. Tom Ramsey has taken over at quarterback for New England. Red Sox shutting out the Yankees 5-0. Detroit Tigers trying to hang in there, beating Baltimore 2-1. Long year for the Orioles.
Long year for the Patriots. Long day for them anyway.
Well, Tom Ramsey takes over at quarterback. 4-year veteran from UCLA, who says if he can't play, he wants to be traded. Penalty marker down. Looked like Doug Smith was across over there.
Encroachment, number 90.
Tim Goad is the injured New England Patriot. Mel Proctor with Jerry Creamer back at the Astrodome. The Patriots scored first in the opening quarter on a run by Steve Grogan, 1 yard out, and then the Oilers came back. Mike Rozier with a 1-yard run in the second quarter, a 51-yard pass from Carlson to Pinkett, and then Carlson to Pinkett again in the third quarter from 22 yards out.
You see Tim Goad right in the right side of the screen there, getting blocked by Alonzo Highsmith. Fine young fullback for the Oilers. Takes a pretty good shot at him. Excuse me, that's Rozier. That's Rozier. That's not Highsmith. One more look at him and gives him a pretty good lick in the kidneys, and can't tell there whether it was something in the back of the kidneys or what it was, but Tim is up now, and maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. It's kind of hard to say from up here.
Patriots have had some difficulties at that position. Toby Williams, who started at nose tackle last year, didn't report to camp until late August. So they moved Brent Williams from the outside to nose tackle. He started the first 2 games. Then when Ken Sims got hurt, suffering a ruptured Achilles tendon, they moved Williams to left defensive end, and Goad moved into the middle and made his first start last week. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, a lonely figure.
Boy, the loneliness of a kicker. You're really all alone out there. Not only out there, but in the locker room too. You're just, you know, somewhat of a different bird in that group.
You kicked for a while with the Packers.
Yes, I did, but I also played guard, so it was not exactly the same, and I wasn't left-footed and skipped.
First down, Alan Pinkett. Pinkett to the 36-yard line. I guess if you could make an analogy. Well, first let's watch Mike Munchak, the all-pro left guard of the Oilers, number 63.
Mike Munchak working on Garen Vereth and doing a fine job, as that whole offensive line has done today. Big Bruce Davis, 77 at left tackle.
2nd and 8 at the 36. 13:30 remaining fourth quarter. 21-6 Houston. Cody Carlson downfield. Blocked by Ernest Gibbons. The normally reliable Mr. Gibbons.
Boy, that doesn't happen very often. Watch Cody go back, has plenty of time, and Gibbons runs an in and out in a beautifully run pattern, has beautifully thrown ball right in the hands. Maybe it was too easy. Those easy ones sometimes are the most difficult to catch. Sometimes put them away before you actually catch them.
Gibbons, who had 53 catches last year, 61 as a rookie in 1986. 3rd down, 8 at the 36. Pinkett is back in the game. Alan Pinkett up the middle. That offensive line is doing a terrific job. Davis and Steinfeld are the tackles. Munchak and Matthews, the 2 guards, and Pennison the center. But they didn't get enough for a first down, and here comes Tony Zendejas. Zendejas, who's missed 4 straight field goal attempts. Missed 2 last week against the Jets from 26 and 48 yards, and he's missed 2 today from 46. And this will be a little bit longer than the previous 2. This is going to be about a 50-yard attempt.
None of them have been chip shots, really.
He's got the distance, and it is good.
All right.
So he just took a gorilla right off his back. Tony Zendejas field goal gives the Oilers a 24-6 lead.
Tony Zendejas from 50 yards out. Keep the faith. Don't change anything. Head down. Follow through. Exactly what we've been doing all day. And yeah, through the uprights. And here's Coach Glanville on the sidelines. All right, Tony. Way to go.
Officially a 49-yard field goal, the longest of his career, 52 yards. So that has to feel good and maybe restore a little confidence. It's now 24-6. Sammy Martin and Marvin Allen back deep, awaiting this line drive kick. Drummond fields it. And he's drilled at the 25-yard line. And let's go now to NFL Live in New York for an update.
Okay, Mel, in Buffalo, Pittsburgh punter Harry Newsome. And it is blocked by Steve Tasker. Rob Riddick gets a 2nd touchdown within 2.5 minutes. It's all Bills as they look to go 4-0. It's 30-14 over Pittsburgh. Okay, Mel and Jerry.
All right, thank you, Len Berman. It's 24-6 Oilers in the fourth quarter with 12:32 remaining. The Patriots scored the first touchdown of the game in the first quarter, but have had nothing since. Steve Grogan has been pressured. He's had to hurry passes. He's had 2 intercepted. Now we're working the shotgun, and here come the Oilers. Craig James drops it. Al Smith in coverage for the Oilers. Here are the matchups for next Sunday on NBC Sports. Seattle and Atlanta. The Oilers will be playing in Philadelphia. Buffalo, after discovering some offense today, will face the Bears in Chicago, the Colts at New England. And the late games at 4 o'clock, Kansas City and the Jets, the Bengals at Los Angeles, Denver at San Diego. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Grogan's pass is complete to Reggie Dupard. Oh, an official went down hard. I don't know if we've got that, but
don't see that very often. Patriots continuing to sputter a little bit. They really are having a time getting it together.
They're in their hurry-up offense now, but got a penalty marker. Red Cashin, the referee. No penalty, timeout.
47th timeout.
There you see Tim Goad going off the field. Has a bruised kidney or a kidney contusion. I believe that's what we were told going into the locker room.
The Oilers have taken a timeout. Steve Grogan searching for some answers. Grogan says he still loves football. The thrill is still there. He loved baseball when he was a kid. He likes to play golf in the offseason now, but he said there's nothing that gives me the excitement that football does.
He's a hard-nosed football player, too. You know, he's the kind of a guy that doesn't mind taking a lick and doesn't mind sticking his nose in there and will stay there and fight with you.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Houston Oilers and the National Football League is prohibited. Crazy George, alive and well in Houston. He used to operate up in Oakland with the A's years ago. Third down and 7. Grogan downfield. It's tipped and picked off by Patrick Allen. Allen inside the 30 and tackled at the 18-yard line. Irving Fryer was the intended receiver. Bostic made the hit, knocked the ball in the air, and Allen, who moved back into the starting lineup today, picked it off. That's the 3rd interception today for the Oilers. 21-yard return by Allen.
I'm sure the people in New England have heard me say that Grogan isn't throwing the ball well. They've heard that often enough. Here you see the ball tipped into coverage. Patrick Allen picks it out of the air and returns it down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds there about the 25-yard line.
Allen was a holdout late reporting to camp and had not started until today, and he felt that he was being punished by the coaching staff because he was a holdout. Mike Rozier on first down. Oh, good. Powerful run inside the 20. And a timeout. Fumble, apparently. And it looks like Tim Jordan recovered it. So the Patriots get the ball back.
Let's look at it again. Mike Rozier into the line of scrimmage, and bang, a shoulder on the ball. And it's loose and flopping around. The Patriots recover. Going the other way.
So New England takes over at their 19-yard line. They've got to get it going. 11:43 left, 4th quarter, and the Oilers lead 24-6. Grogan's been under pressure all day. He's been intercepted 3 times. And the pass is complete to Cedric Jones. Another loose ball, and the Oilers have it. So for the 2nd time in this game, the teams have traded turnovers.
In Grogan's defense, he has not had a pressure-free day in the backfield. Watch this, just as he delivers the ball, he gets a pretty good lick, and the pass is complete. Here again you see the pressure from the left side. The pass is complete, but the fumble occurs on the tackle. The Oilers recover. Grogan is trying to explain the rules to the official about the ball being dead, but they're not buying it.
Looked like John Grimsley stripped the ball away. It's a first down to 27. Alan Pinkett up the middle, inside the 20. He and Rozier and Highsmith have been the story offensively for the Oilers. Buffalo opening it up 30-14 over the Steelers in the third quarter, so Jim Kelly's gotten his offense on track. Vikings leading by 3 over Philadelphia. Here in Houston, the Oilers with a 24-6 lead, 11:04 left, and the Oilers threatening again. Pinkett, Highsmith are the running backs. Drew Hill split to the left. Ernest Gibbons comes in motion. The pitch to Pinkett. Another big hole, and he's down to the 14-yard line. That big offensive line is just blowing the Patriots off the line of scrimmage. Ed Reynolds made the stop.
They are doing a job up front. Highsmith out on the beginning blocking for Pinkett, who has a huge hole opened by that offensive line and takes it down to about the 15-yard line for a first down.
First down at the 15-yard line. Pinkett with 11 carries for 62 yards. Better than 5 yards a pop. Pinkett again. Steps out of a tackle and gets some more. It's like trying to tackle a fish.
You like that balance. You see him get hit about at the line of scrimmage. He goes down to one hand and can watch this number 20 here. He makes a little bit of a move this way and then cuts back. Now watch him get hit right here and go down to one hand and come up and gain about 5 yards on the play.
Stepped right out of the tackle of Lawrence McGrew. 2nd and 5 at the 10-yard line. 9:33 left, fourth quarter. Oilers ahead 24-6. An impressive performance today by Houston. They give to Highsmith. Highsmith's inside the 5 to the 2. The big fullback from Miami, first-round pick last year and the 3rd selection in the draft, showing his power. And we've got a Patriot down. Roland James is shaken up on the play. It's Brent Williams who's hurt coming off the field. Well, now here's another guy who can play the nose tackle or the outside defensive end spot, and they can ill afford more injuries to their front three.
Boy, they're having all the problems they need today. The offense is sputtering. We've had some defensive problems. We got Toby Williams in now.
Milford Hodge is in the game. Toby Williams also in there on the front line. And 1st and goal to go at the 3-yard line. 2 tight ends in the game. 87 Jamie Williams and 78 Don Maggs. Pinkett down to the 1-yard line. Garen Verris stopped him short of a touchdown. Maggs, number 78, is playing tight end. He's really a guard tackle, but they asked him what his time was in the 40, and he said, well, it depends if you're timing with a sundial or an hourglass.
6'6", 285 pounds of the tight end as we watch Alan Pinkett go over the top, come down on the 1-yard line as that offensive line and that whole Houston team continues to take it right straight at him.
They got Maggs on one side of the end, Jamie Williams on the other, and Jerry Glanville feels he's the best blocking tight end in the game. Pinkett into the end zone, touchdown. Alan Pinkett's 3rd touchdown of the game and his 6th of the season.
What a day. What a day. Watch Alan Pinkett, number 20, as he cuts back against the grain and into the end zone. He is having some kind of day. It won't be too difficult to decide who our MVP will be at the end of the game, the way this young man's running.
For a little guy showing a lot of power, breaking 2 tackles to take it in. So he's had 2 touchdown receptions of 51 and 22 yards, now a 1-yard touchdown run to make it 30-6. Zendejas with Greg Montgomery holding, and he's perfect. So with 8:10 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Oilers are blowing the Patriots off the field 31-6. The Jerry Kramer fan club holding their weekly meeting here at the Astrodome.
Was that because of the Blues or because of the beards now?
Tony Zendejas to kick off. The Oilers have scored 31 straight points since the Patriots jumped out in front 6-0. Marvin Allen will bring it out. And the Oilers just teeing off of the special teams as he's knocked out the 22-yard line by Eugene Seal. The Oilers have played good, clean football today and have dominated.
Good, clean football. They have played aggressive football, and they have dominated in all phases of the game. This has been the kind of an Oiler football team that we all thought they were capable of, but we hadn't really seen yet.
We understand New England defensive end Brent Williams is finished for the day. He has a pinched nerve, so they've lost 2 frontline starters. The nose tackle Tim Goad, now the left end Brent Williams. Steve Grogan remaining in the game despite a very poor afternoon. Really been beat up, pressured, 3 interceptions. Completes it to Craig James out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Grogan is a survivor in his career. He's had 4 knee operations, elbow surgery, 2 broken legs, a broken hand, pinched nerve in his neck. He's lost his starting job twice to Matt Cavanaugh in '82 and to Tony Easton in '84. Still going strong in his 14th season.
That's persistency. That's determination. That's a hard-nosed kid.
Says when he retires, he won't have any regrets. He knows that he's given everything he has to football, and he's had a very gratifying career. Underneath, pass complete to Irving Fryer. That's only the 2nd reception of the day for Fryer. The Patriots have some gifted athletes in Morgan, Fryer, Cedric Jones, but they haven't been able to get the ball to them.
Just haven't been able to get on track. We mentioned earlier they got 10 young guys, 9 injuries, now more than that.
On 3rd and 1, Patriots in a hurry-up offense. And the pass is complete to Fryer for a first down at the 48. Jeff Donaldson on the tackle. Patriots are in their 2-minute drill with 7:18 left, but they're down by 25 points. Grogan throwing the short passes now, again hooking up with Fryer to the 46.
Well, I certainly agree with the strategy. This is about the only thing the Patriots can do is use this hurry-up offense, and let's go for it.
6:50 left, 4th quarter, 31-6 Oilers. 2nd and 5. Grogan is going to have to run across the line of scrimmage, and he got nailed. Al Smith really put a lick on him.
I tell you, that hurt me. I've been watching Grogan all day long, and his neck is bothering him, and it's starting to bother me. And you watch Al Smith, the linebacker, come up here and put a hit on him, and he's going to take some aspirin tonight.
On 3rd and 1, Grogan over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Tried to hit Cedric Jones. So that'll bring up 4th down. Might as well go for it. 2 tight ends checking in, Johnson and Willie Scott. 31-6 Houston with 6:11 left in the 4th quarter. What a comeback by the Oilers, who lost 45-3 to the Jets last week.
A team that New England had beaten in the opener of the season.
They beat the Jets 28-3 in the rain at Foxborough. Reggie Dupard trying to pick up the first down. He needed only a yard and gets the first down. John Grimsley, the left inside linebacker, on the tackle.
On a comparative score basis, then, the Patriots should have won this one about 70-3, right?
So much for comparative scores. First down at the 40 with 5:40 left. Grogan's got to try to get it into the end zone pretty soon. Dupard out of bounds at the 38, but they've got to get into the end zone quickly. Buffalo trying to win their 4th straight, ahead of the Steelers 33-14. No change in the Bengals-Browns game. Bears leading Green Bay 17-6. We talked about when you played, and the Bears had the reputation of being a dirty team. Now name some names. Who are the dirty players?
Bill George. Bill George.
That's it. That's it. What did he do? Did he bite? Did he twist? Did he kick?
Bill was a good football player, besides occasionally a forearm or a little intimidation.
Grogan cranks it up long. Incomplete in the end zone. Good coverage downfield on Stanley Morgan. He was double covered.
Ray Childress, the big defensive end, is trying to get a sack one way or the other. He's crawling, rolling, anything he can do to get to Grogan.
A relentless attacking, swarming defense, and Jerry Glanville says if you don't like this kind of football, go watch tennis where it's love 40.
Yeah.
5:27 left, fourth period. 3rd and 7.
It's a violent game. It's a physical game. Great discipline, great commitment, a lot of different qualities necessary to play this game.
Patriots call the timeout.
Glanville says, what is going on? Here's a quote. Whoever doesn't want to see gang tackling within the framework of the rules should probably be out playing tennis where it's 40 love.
Amen. Well, the Oilers next week will be playing in Philadelphia, and there's a lot of speculation about who Jerry Glanville is going to leave a ticket for. Will it be for W.C. Fields? Oh, yes, all things considered. Or will it be Rocky Balboa? Who knows? It all started in a preseason game in Memphis when he left a ticket for the King, Elvis Presley. And then they went to Indianapolis to play the Colts, and Indianapolis is near James Dean hometown, so he left a ticket for James Dean. And then last week they played in New York, and he left a ticket for the Phantom of the Opera.
Only on away games will he leave a ticket. So it'll be interesting to see who's next.
He's colorful, though. You spent a good deal of time with him.
He's interesting. You know, I really ended up liking him a lot. He's really a pretty decent human being. He does an awful lot of charity work with children, handicapped kids, and really a decent guy.
5:27 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's 31-6 Oilers on 3rd and 7. Grogan is hit as he gets the pass away to Stanley Morgan. To the 31. Gain of 6 yards. But Grogan has taken a beating.
It's been a long day for Steve Grogan. He's had a few drop passes, but an awful lot of badly thrown balls and a lot of big defensive linemen in his face, a lot of blitzing linebackers, and just a long, long day.
4th and 1. Grogan with a quarterback sneak. He ran for the only Patriot score in this game. Grogan scored on a 1-yard run. Since then, the Oilers have scored 31 straight points. Stay tuned on NBC coming up. The games of the 24th Olympiad, boxing, swimming finals, weightlifting, all later today.
I'm waiting for the volleyball finals. I've got a young daughter who is a nut about volleyball.
It's a great sport, becoming increasingly popular. The beach volleyball out in Southern California, the college volleyball.
Boy, there's some really tremendous athletes playing that game. I think it's a great sport.
The United States women played Peru this morning. And a good match, but they didn't score enough points to advance. There's Tim Goad, who was injured earlier. Patriots have lost Goad and the left defensive end Brent Williams with injuries. They're already without Tippett and Ken Sims, so their defense is really hurting. Grogan can't find anybody open, and here comes Doug Smith. He really nailed him. The pass is intercepted in the end zone by Jeff Donaldson. But Grogan paid the price. Oh.
Knocked his shoe off. He hit him so hard he knocked his shoe off on that sack. Doug Smith. Whew.
That hurt. Well, the Patriots Cough it up again. That's the 4th interception today by Houston.
Grogan has really paid for throwing the ball today. It's been a long, hard day for him. He got hit so hard that time and knocked his shoe loose. And you can see what happens to the ball in the end zone. Jeff Donaldson picks it off. Now take a look at Grogan here. Just as he unloads the ball, Doug Smith hits him, and you see the shoe go flying one way and Grogan go flying the other way. And that's what this game's all about.
Brent Peace is in at quarterback now, and the handoff is to Lorenzo White, his first carry. So we've got a new quarterback, Brent Peace, in his 2nd year out of Montana. White and Spencer Tillman, the new running backs. There's Peace, who was signed as a replacement player last year after being cut by the Vikings. He was an 11th round pick of Minnesota. And a good day for Cody Carlson. And as I said before, I really like Jerry Glanville's game plan. Jerry and the quarterback coach June Jones, the way that they kind of restored Carlson's confidence by going to a running game early. Then when he threw short, medium range passes, and then finally when his confidence was restored, he started to throw the ball a little bit longer and quite effectively. The pitch to White. Lorenzo White joining this cast of great running backs out to the 36. White, who was 2nd all-time in rushing in the Big Ten behind Archie Griffin of Ohio State. Roland James made the tackle for the Patriots with 3.5 left.
Mel, I can't help but agree with that game plan. It was basic, it was fundamental, it was smart. He happened to have the offensive line and the running backs to execute that game plan, and it certainly worked well for him today. Nice to see Lorenzo White get in there and get a few carries and see what he's capable of.
2 new wide receivers in the game, Curtis Duncan and Leonard Harris. Chris Verhulst is in at tight end. He was expected to start today. Jamie Williams had a bad ankle, but Williams, the Spider-Man, rallied to start this game. Lorenzo White to the 41-yard line. So we approach the 2-minute warning. It's 31-6 Oilers. There's Lorenzo, who doesn't have great acceleration, very durable back, regarded as kind of a 20 to 30-yard back, but not the explosive guy. Doesn't have the 4.3 speed.
Nice to have the luxury of having a guy like that sit on the bench and come along slowly.
Three of the running backs are first-round picks. Highsmith, Rozier, and White. Of course, Rozier came from the USFL, where he was their #1 pick overall in that league. This time it's Spencer Tillman on the carry. 2nd year back from Oklahoma. Good special teams player. Toby Williams made the tackle for the Patriots as we wind down at the 2-minute warning. So we'll get the 2-minute warning at the Astrodome with the Oilers leading New England 31-6. It's time now for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. Today's MVP is Alan Pinkett of the Houston Oilers, and Budweiser will make a contribution to United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game. Pinkett carried 14 times for 70 yards and a touchdown, caught 2 passes for a total of 73 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Not a bad day.
Exciting young back.
Cody Carlson with a conservative passing game, 8 for 17, 2 touchdown throws to Pinkett. Already mentioned Pinkett's stats. Defense intimidating. 2 sacks, 3 deflections, 4 interceptions, and a fumble recovery.
Great day for the Houston defense.